A very good morning to everyone. Happy Friday. I hope everyone has a good weekend. It's going to be a nice hot one anyway. Welcome to my channel, Ballstall Boys channel. Today guys, or this morning, I'll have a little chat with you about Convict Justice, which happened in Belmarsh, HMP Belmarsh in 1999 when I was on remand for a string of armed robberies. On my previous videos, I have said that the screws used to give me information and tell me who the beasts were on the landing, because the screws always know who the game people are, who the staunch people are, and who the blokes are what ain't gonna blow the whistle and grass them up. So they use me, and I was quite happy at the time, because at the end of the day, that's what got me through my sentence. Convict justice. Now, this afternoon in Mention, I was with a little firm of blokes. One was called Tony Nix, and he was from Woolwich. And rest in peace, Tony Nix. If any of Tony Nix's family are watching this video, then your dad was a very good man. I remember back in the day when Tony Nix was in war with the Weatherman family from Woolwich, but I'll do another video on that on another occasion. But this time in Mention, I was having it with a guy called Tony Nix and Peter Bailey, and Peter Bailey is from Brixton. I'm not too sure if Peter Bailey's still back, but I know Tony Nix has passed away recently, I've heard. So this is what happened. There was a guy who had just come into House Block 4. He'd been on the landing for around 2 days when the screw come into my cell, and the screw told me that there was a right bad monster on the wing, and his name was Neil. I can't mention the surname for legal reasons, but he was only a few cells along from me. So I plotted it and I planned it, and on association time I thought, right, he's going to get convict justice. What this guy Neil was in for was despicable. It was unspeakable, and it was absolutely disgusting, and he deserved every single bit of what we give him. So what he was in for is this. Yes, he killed his nan, and he laid her out on the bed, and he put all candles round her. He was smoking crack, and he was having intercourse with his dead nan. So I can't really say the word because I don't want to get a strike, but yeah, you can imagine what he was doing with his nan, and that's when he got arrested. And they obviously took the body and done a post-mortem and the coroner's inquiry and all the rest, and they found Neil's semen inside his own nan. So Neil got arrested for the murder and for the rape of his deceased nan. That's what he was in Belmarsh for. He tried to hide it. Neil tried to hide it and tried to mix in with everyone else on the landing, and there were so many names on the landing at that time. There's too many names, big high profile names to mention. But on association time, I was in patches, by the way. I was in an escapee suit, and as many people know, House Block 4 is cameraed up and CCTV'd up for security reasons, yeah, because there's some high profile cases on there, and you know, there's people on there. So on association time, I got hold of Tony Nix, and I asked Tony Nix if he would stand on the door whilst I went inside this cell and served this monster up, because that is what he was, and that's what he was going to get. I had 2 tins of tuna in a sock, wrapped up, and his door was a little way open, and he was sitting on his bed watching his telly. So, because I knew what he was in for, I flew in the cell and swung my sock straight around the side of his head. His head went psh, blood coming out of his head, but Neil was around 6'3", 6'4", and he was probably about 17 or 18 stone, a very big man to me. I was only 5'8" and probably 11 stone wet. So yeah, it would have been a very bit of it would have been a big tussle in the cell. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't have wanted to be left in the cell alone with him after I hit him with a tin of tuna and a sock, because he got up off the bed, went like that, and found out he had blood and started to wrestle with me. We had a little wrestle on the bed, and I was getting a few punches in, and he was starting to like grab me around the throat and things like that. On normal circumstances, I would have done him out on the landing, so like you got more room, you got more space to manoeuvre about, and other people can see and other people get involved, especially on a beast like that. But anyway, Tony Nicks heard the commotion in the cell, and luckily enough, he run inside the cell. Now, for those that don't know Tony Nicks, he was about 5'11", and he was a powerhouse. He was always down the gym, he was always boxing, he was always doing weights, and he was hench. He was a big man, and he was one of the boys of Woolwich, one of the daddies around Woolwich, a big name, a big face. So yeah, rest in peace, Tony, mate, wherever you are. I hope you're having a good time up there. Anyway, Tony come into the cell and got hold of this guy, Neil, round the head, put him in the headlock like that, and wrestled him onto the bed. Now, as he wrestled him onto the bed, I come up behind Tony and up the side of this monster, and I started drilling punches into his rib cage, drilling, punching. And as I was hitting him like that, bang, 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 bang. As I was hitting him, I was giving it everything I had. Don't forget, he was laying on the bed and I was standing up. So when I'm throwing these punches now to you guys, I'm only sitting down. But yeah, I had a bit of power on me too, because I was hitting the gym and I was game. So anyway, every time I was giving him uppercuts into his kidneys and into his rib cage, he was going, ah, ah, ah. So we left him on the bed and he was in a bit of a state. We was in the cell for a few minutes, and I wanted to make sure that he got his comeuppance, and we run outside the cell. Now, bearing in mind, I had an E-Man suit on, a yellow and green jumpsuit, and the wing was cambered up. So a few minutes later, I run back into my cell. Tony went into his cell, and we started acting like nothing had happened. But I did have blood on my overalls. It wasn't that day, it was actually the next day, but that afternoon the wing got locked down, the alarms went because one of the screws walked past his cell and see blood footsteps coming out of his cell, and they quickly noticed that there'd been a fight, so they locked the whole wing down. That was the end of our association. The next morning, bang bang on the door, you're going down the segregation unit. So they frog marched me down the segregation unit. I asked them what for, and they said to me it's about an alleged assault what happened on the wing yesterday. I give them a little smirk and I walked down to the seg with them. I went down the seg, and I heard Tony was in the next cell to me, next door to me, and we was talking through the pipes. I don't know if any of my followers remember, but all cells, even down the segregation unit, they've got a pipe, and it goes right through each cell. And in the winter, them pipes come on, and that's how we brew our hooch and we do our washing and leave it on the pipes. So me and Tony started talking to each other, and we both, got our stories straight. That afternoon, the police, the screws opened my door and took me onto a private visit into a little room. The police came up, the police interviewed me, and this is how it went. So this was in my statements. The police asked me, if it wasn't me who attacked this monster, Neil, then how was it that the CCTV got me going in the cell and coming out of the cell, and also how was it that I had blood all over my overalls? And I told them the reason for this is because of I heard a commotion on association. I see a few people in the cell. I see he was getting beaten up, and I just walked into the cell to make sure that he wasn't he wasn't dead or anything like that. And I picked him up. I told the police that I picked him up off the floor, and I put him on the bed, and then I walked out of the cell, and that is how I got blood all over me, and that is how the CCTV they got me going in and coming out of the cell. Tony Nick said the same story as me, because we have obviously had it confirmed with each other down in the segregation unit. But yeah, the police tried to come in. They tried to put charges on me and Tony. So that was another time that I got investigated for allegedly attacking a beast or a monster. The other one was Venables, as many of you know. That's on my videos, guys. But yeah, you know, now all these years later, this happened in '99, but all these years later, I can still like vividly remember it, and I can still smile about getting convict justice, because some of these bacons or some of these monsters actually fancy their chances and go on normal location, especially those what can look after themselves. Well, this just goes to show you, it doesn't matter how hard you are, it doesn't matter how big you are, it doesn't matter how crazy you are and how much you can have a fight. If you're in for one of them naughty charges, mate, then you're going to get served up. End of story. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to leave this video here, guys, because I haven't long been out of bed. I had a bit of a late one last night. So I hope you enjoyed my stories, guys. I'll be uploading more content this afternoon. I hope everyone has a great day. Peace.